Thank you, Becky. And let me start out by thanking my brothers and sisters that are here with us today, and especially as a proud member of Communication Workers of America, we have our Primtex with us today, and we all know how important they are to the labor movement. A couple of decades ago, Ross Perot argued during his presidential campaign that NAFTA would produce a giant sucking sound of jobs leaving the U.S. for Mexico. Organized labor agreed with much of what Perot was saying, but he was wrong on at least one thing. Even Mexico would become too expensive for the race to the bottom, and as it turned out, jobs would not flow just to Mexico, but to a succession of even lower wage venues, culminating in what started as a quarter an hour labor in China. Since NAFTA, U.S. trade deficit with Mexico has displaced nearly 700,000 American jobs. This is according to the Economic Policy Institute. The trade deficit in China has displaced another 2.8 million jobs, 2/3 of which were in manufacturing. Every time another one of these job-sucking free trade treaties is put before Congress, we are told it would deliver untold economic benefits. What we aren't told is that those benefits are not going to American workers. They're going to multinational corporations that might have been born in the U.S., but now owe allegiance only to the venues that would let them aim low on treatment of workers, dictate laws and regulations, and seek profits regardless of the society's consequences. You know, as a union representative, I have always taken great pride in made in the U.S. label. But the secrecies that we're seeing in these negotiations over yet another pie-in-the-sky free trade deal, TPP, suggests to me a more accurate label may be made at the expense of the USA. In case anyone has failed to notice, Americans are struggling to emerge from a recession. We all know that jobs are still scarce, unemployment is way too high. But when it comes to so-called free trade deals, our jobs are not the only thing at stake, people. Also, what's at stake is what it means to be a nation. At a time of economic need, we are creating international economic bodies that will have removed much of the power of the voters to decide what our laws will be. This kind of secrecy makes me wonder whether it's even possible for any more of American voters to demand decent labor provision as the elite negotiators and privileged, can't even speak, lobbyists discuss the future of the world behind our backs. So far, we've sacrificed jobs and a piece of our sovereignty. But the secrecy of these negotiations suggests to me that we may also be about to sacrifice a piece of our democracy as well. Thank you, Becky.